We keep hearing a lot of talk about Tchouaméni to Manchester United. Manchester United obviously would love Tchouaméni, but we don't know if he wants to leave Real Madrid. We don't know if this bust up with Valverde is going to affect anything. But one thing we do know is Camavinga wants to leave Real Madrid. He was left out the World Cup squad, and could that change Man United's plan? Well, in my opinion, Tchouaméni is better than Camavinga, but Camavinga now wants to move, and if he can get past his injuries, there's definitely a player there. But before we discuss the latest on Camavinga and Manchester United links, we're going to talk about Manchester United striker plans. It looks like Zirkzee is going to go, and Man United are looking for a replacement. And Tier 1 Laurie Whitwell has spoken about what kind of player that could be. There has been some surprise Goncalo Ramos links that I want to talk about as well. Mateus Fernandes has spoken about Bruno Fernandes yet again. Updates on Mason Mount in his future, Elliot Anderson, and more. So, hello, and welcome back to Alice Talks Football, and welcome back to your 10-minute Manchester United news, transfer news, and update roundup show, where I'm going to round up all the latest Manchester United news into a 10-minute video for you guys. If you do enjoy today's video, feel free to hit that like button, and of course, you're welcome to subscribe down below if you're new. Laurie Whitwell said this on the profile of striker Manchester United will look to sign in the summer. He said this on the Stretford Paddock YouTube channel today. Someone with experience and someone who knows they might not start every game to rotate with Sesko. So, obviously, the obvious names that come to people's head is like Danny Welbeck. I don't think we're going to go for Danny Welbeck. He has scored a lot of goals this season. Is it going to be an older Prem player that's, scored quite a few goals in his career and happy being second fiddle to Sesko? Some people say, what about a Richarlison if Tottenham go down? I'm not sure, because obviously when you look at the players we're linked to, like Krupi, well, he ain't going to be, an old experienced player. Lewandowski was a link, again, probably a little too old, high wages. Kane, well, he's not going to be back up to Sesko. He's going to start with Sesko every week. Who could it be? Now, one name we've been linked to, which I'd say I don't think he's experienced, but I guess he's been playing striker for a few years, is Goncalo Ramos. Man United have previously explored a move for Goncalo Ramos and have been contacted again regarding the striker. There is still genuine interest from Manchester United as they continue to assess their attacking options ahead of future changes. United are considering Ramos as a potential target if Zirkzee leaves. Now, would I say he's experienced? No. Would I say he's probably okay being back up to Sesko? Yes. My thought process on Ramos is he's been underwhelming at PSG. He's not been bad. He's had a better season than Zirkzee's had, and he's a better player than Zirkzee, but he's playing for the best team in the world in a really easy league, and he's just been okay. He's just been okay. If you're not shining for PSG, how can I expect you to shine for Man United? So my mindset on Ramos is, I actually really liked Ramos, and I wanted us to go for him over Højlund, and in my opinion, he's a better player than Højlund. But, yeah, he's an improvement on Zirkzee, but if we're going to have to pay 50 million for him, what's the point? If PSG will loan him out, 100% you take him in as a backup to Sesko if you can get him on loan. You can get him for 30 million less, fine. But he's not a player I'd want to spend more than 40 million on. I like Ramos. I think he's a decent player. And I really liked him at Benfica, but I'm just not sure. He doesn't shine for PSG. And look, he's a backup to Sesko. I don't think we should be spending more than 40 million on a backup striker. Could we look within the Prem? Could we look at more experience? If Tottenham go down, Richarlison's 20 million. I mean, Richarlison's... I think we could do better than that. I think we could do better than Ramos, but I'm also guessing we're going to spend 150 million on midfield, probably 50 million on a player that's a left winger. We don't have a lot of funds for a striker. Maybe we are only looking at those 30 million backup strikers to replace Zirkzee with. And is he better than Zirkzee Ramos? Yes. Would he be my pick? No, but have I always liked the player? Yeah, I guess. Before we get into the news on Camavinga, I wanted to read this out from Mateus Fernandes. Bruno Fernandes is my idol. He was one of the players who visited the academy in Lisbon the most to see for himself how things were going and what we were like. I think he could pick us over PSG, Mateus Fernandes. PSG are focusing on attack. They want to get Ramos out. They want to get a striker in. They're not prioritising midfield. We are. He's in the Prem. He likes the Prem. He said if he could play for any team in the world at any point, it would have been Man United when Ronaldo was there, and Bruno Fernandes is his idol. So, for me, maybe we've got a chance of getting him if West Ham are relegated. And also, that's probably another vote for Bruno for PFA Player of the Season. So let's talk about the news on Camavinga. Camavinga is actively looking to leave Madrid this summer, with a move to the Premier League firmly in his thinking, as Manchester United and Liverpool both show strong interest. So this was said, obviously, by Graham Bailey, that Camavinga is actively looking to leave Madrid this summer, with a move to the Premier League firmly in his thinking, as Manchester United and Liverpool show strong interest. Madrid, they don't want to sell Tchouaméni unless Tchouaméni decides to leave. Now, that could be influenced by the bust-up with Valverde. We'll have to wait and see. If Madrid do go and sign a Rodri, they'd be open to selling Tchouaméni. Madrid want to sell Camavinga. Is it a red flag if we went for Camavinga and not Tchouaméni because Madrid want to sell Camavinga? Yeah. Tchouaméni has been better than Camavinga for Madrid. Tchouaméni is the better player. And there's a reason why Madrid want to sell Camavinga and haven't made their mind up whether to sell Tchouaméni yet. Because Tchouaméni is seen as a player of value. Camavinga is seen as a player that actually, he's not been great. Camavinga 2 years ago, he's like first choice for midfield. He's that potential. He was incredible to begin with at Madrid. But he's not kicked on in the last 2 years. He's had a lot of injuries. I wouldn't go for Camavinga unless you can get him on like a 40 million deal. But he's not a Casemiro replacement. He's a Garte replacement. He's not reliable. Now, Camavinga's upset. He's not in the France World Cup squad. He's not playing loads at Madrid. He's had a lot of injuries. He's not seen as in their plans. Now, look, things could change. Mourinho's set to come into Madrid. He might decide he wants to keep Camavinga and not sell him. But what's interesting is Camavinga reportedly wants out of Madrid. And Man United have always liked Camavinga. Would we go for Camavinga because he's available over Tchouaméni, or would we wait it out and see what happens with Tchouaméni because it just makes a lot more sense? Now, I think with Tchouaméni, we won't know anything until Mourinho, whoever the next manager is come in the door and done something with his squad. I think Tchouaméni is one of those where we might not know anything until July. Mourinho will make a decision when he comes back from the World Cup. I think Tchouaméni is one that could drag on. But could there be a shock twist? Could there be a shock twist where we go, you know what? We don't think he's leaving Madrid. Camavinga wants out and we take the risk on Camavinga. I like Camavinga, but I'm not taking a big risk on him. I'm not spending more than 40 million on him with his injuries. I think Tchouaméni is worth 70 million. Camavinga isn't. But I would rather Tchouaméni. I'd rather Tchouaméni. Talking of a player we need to sell, Mason Mount. World Play sources say Mount has had a challenging stop-start season. Well, we've said that every season he's been there. But is fully dedicated to reviving his United career. He's determined to stay next season despite limited playing time on the carrick. Every season we get the same report about Mason Mount. He's had a stop-start season, but due to limited playing time, but he's going to revive himself next season. The following season happens, injured. The following season happens, injured. I know it's not Mason Mount's fault, but look, under Amrin, I think Mason Mount really did have a chance of reviving his career because he suits that left-hand role. I don't think he suits Carrick's system well. I don't think he was great in the last game he played. That said, it was his first start in about 18 weeks, so he's not going to be all fresh and ready to go, so you can't judge him too much. But I just look at it and I think it's better for him to move on. How I read this is he's on 250 grand a week now. We're back in the Champions League and he'd have to take a wage cut to leave. Why would he do that? That's my mindset, and only Coventry are interested. Continuing on into news on Elliot Anderson. So Ben Jacobs went on the United Stand YouTube channel yesterday and was asked a few things about Elliot Anderson, as you saw on screen. And he was said that Man United and Man City are both in a position to now go to Nottingham Forest. He was saying because Nottingham Forest are now safe in the Premier League and no longer in Europe, they know they're just going to be in the Premier League next season, not playing in European competition. They know where they'll be. And Mr. Marinakis has now opened the door to, negotiations. So he said, keep an eye, maybe bids can come in, but club-to-club talks will happen with United and City and Nottingham Forest soon for Elliot Anderson. Now, what's interesting is United is still having talks with Forest about Elliot Anderson. I think if Man United thought Elliot Anderson was 100% going to City, they would have walked away by now. United, deludedly, maybe. Hopefully, maybe. I think there's a chance, and they're still in for Anderson, and they're still having conversations about Anderson. Do United know something we don't? Or are we just wasting time on Anderson? Because everyone's saying, City, or go to City. Why are we still in talks? Why are we potentially putting in a bid? Could we have got some kind of indication from Anderson that he might be open to it? I think he's going to choose City a little bit like Semenyo. But could be one to watch. I think he'll probably be done to City before the World Cup, to be honest. But United aren't giving up, so let's wait and see. But I think something could happen for Anderson quickly. Thank you for watching today's 10-minute roundup. I hope you did enjoy today's video. Guys, feel free to hit that like button if you did and you haven't already and you enjoyed the video. Feel free to subscribe if you're new. I will be back tomorrow. Thank you. Bye.